part of the problem, though, we've got some Negroes who, when they move in high places,
they
act
they
as if the gangsters have vanished because they're benefiting from the situation that they're in.
Well, go on and speak their name. Your sister Pearl Clay.
Well, it's weird, you know, it's a whole lot of names.
Yeah, but I think I'm feeling like it's a name that I'm thinking.
Who's that about?
Are you talking about the you talking about the president? We're going president? Or are we just going just local?
Oh, well, no, we can talk about Brother Barack.
Okay, well, let's go there.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Okay, bro, I had a wonderful question for Brother Stickman of Dead Prez. Okay.
Oh, the great Stickman.
Great
indeed,
Stickman. So
indeed.
we talking about Obama. We talking about the joy that we had. Okay. But Stick brought something to my attention that I just want to pose to you. So we're dealing with the excitement factor. Okay, now a year later, you know, we talk about this all the time, me and Brother Cliff. It's about your action and your policies, okay? And so now Stick is saying, you know, I'm looking at the policies, you know, and I want, you know, we got the corporate thing and market forces. We're still dealing with this poverty thing. You know, we still scared to talk about this race thing. You know, somebody called me out my name like they're president or not, I might have to say something on C-SPAN. You said what? Do you know I'm the president, though?
You're right, my brother.
Do you know I know your Social Security number? So that's what I'm speaking to. That a lot of times, you know, we can look locally. You know, we drunk the Kool-Aid, and you know we got us a black male, but if we ain't got no policy, they ain't fixing your potholes. We can't get no money or no jobs. The kids ain't got pencils. Does it matter if we got a black male? Does it really matter if we still suffering? So let's deal with that, with this situation and looking at the policy, looking at the change, the finesse, because it's smooth. I love Obama. But I think as black people, just because we critiquing each other, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. We might have a vainglorious disagreement, don't mean we can't love each other.
Oh, absolutely. Well, there is no love without correction.
Yeah, how do we get to the point where when we get to, it's going to be some time. I know y'all trying to hold, you like to let it flow. But when we get these positions, Dr. West, it's kind of like we forget. You know what I'm saying? We moved to the north, forget that we lived off of Camp Creek and been here. We forget about that. So talk about going in high places and your ethnicity is just gone.
Making that connection.
Yeah.
Do you want to say a word on that?
Now, yeah, Brother Cliff, this is a...
Yeah, then I'll follow right in.
Yeah, you know, one thing is this, too, is that there's a reason why a Cornel West could never be president of the United States.
Thank God, Almighty. I'd be one dead black man.
Well, it's the reason why...
Please.
I need the FOI, the Holy Ghost, and some Buddhist protection.
And you might have to call some old school pamphlets.
Yeah, that's the truth.
And you know, as brilliant as you are, as young as you are, as even the gifts that you have, if you keep traveling the path and growing in the way that I see you growing right now, it's a reason why you won't ever be president of the United States.
I'm starting to feel it.
Yeah.
It's a little player Haitian going
Well,
on.
the thing about it is that politics is about compromise.
Okay.
And all of us aren't willing to compromise certain things. Okay? But black organicness is important. Being organically black. And I'm not saying being black, no, this person being black. No, I don't like that kind of talk.
You're not talking about incense dashiki. You're talking about...
But there is a richness in our culture that's been handed down from Big Mama.
Yeah.
There is a richness in just like we were doing right now. Not that the Barack doesn't have that. But that person will not be president of the United States. Okay? Now I'm setting this ball up, this T-ball, so Cornel can knock it out.
Yeah,
You know how you stay in your lane? That's how you stay in your lane. Okay. Cornel, go ahead and take this baton.
Don't hit that home run.
No, but that's very real. I mean, namely, they're all white brothers and sisters in the country. So that if Barack looked like the late, great Isaac Hayes, he would never have won the election. Because that black beauty at that level of phenotype would have scared too many white moderates and independents before he even opened his mouth. That's part of the legacy of white supremacy in the nation. You see. Then you got the issue of content and substance. You see. that Barack Obama, he's brilliant, he's charismatic, he was better relative to McCain and Palin, but I mean, you know, better than McCain and Palin. That's setting the bar pretty low, isn't it?
Yeah.
But it was true. There was a chance that we could have had that kind of right-wing reactionary victory in the face of the catastrophes of Iraq, Afghanistan, Katrina, and the Wall Street collapse. And if that were true, we'd be moving toward American fascism, possibly American fascism. Which means we wouldn't be having this dialogue. And if we did, they'd just drag all three of us to jail and we wave at y'all.
Yeah. Holler at your people. Hope that your bailout
Hope you got some bailout money. Hope you had nice dialogues. Stay strong. Gotta be with your people. Bless you. But the second thing is, though, is that, so that, like Cliff is right, politics is about compromise, is about what are the relative options that are available. The problem in America is when it comes to politics, the relative options are so limited. And this is what we got in Barack. You see, that he was able, owing to his brilliance, Democratic Party in crisis, seize the nomination, run up against two mediocres, and win. And it was a beautiful thing. We did celebrate. But the problem was what? As soon as he chose his economic team, where did he come from? Geithner, oligarchs, New York. Summers, oligarchs, New York, Boston. They're extensions of the oligarchs. That's why they can say the recession is over, because it's over for Wall Street. Not over for everyday people on the ground. 10.2%, and they're not even counting most of the folk. Say, Barack, where you get these people from? Here come the foreign policy. Same old Bush people. We're going to send the soldiers to Afghanistan. Volunteer army, disproportionately working class, disproportionately poor, disproportionately black and brown. Where are you getting your advice from? He's got people around him who have no history whatsoever of being concerned about poor people and working people. This is the problem. You see, as a Christian, for me, truth is about focusing on the least of these. And anytime you focus on the least of these, it always looks as if it's a losing cause, because the gangsters at the top have so much power. They are mighty. But our grandparents said what? God is almighty. They are mighty, but sooner or later their power begins to wane. You see, Barack Obama's victory, historic, shatters the glass ceiling at the top. Folks still stuck in the basement. People be obsessed with the breaking of the glass ceiling at the top, forget about the ones on the basement. He put his foot on the brake. The bus was about to go over the cliff. It's called the American Empire. It was about to go over the cliff. He put his foot on the brake with Bush, so Bush didn't hand the baton on to McCain. But as he put his foot on the brake, there's folk under the bus. I don't see a focus on them. Hardly at all. $787 billion to investment bankers with no transparency. They don't need to account for a penny. You know how much money it takes to abolish poverty in America? Less than $100 billion. But you can give $800 billion to 15 banks, and they don't have to account for one penny. That's called welfare for the banks. Welfare for the rich. It's socialism for the rich. They win the profits. Taxpayers have to deal with it if they have losses. You see? There's something not just wrong about that, y'all. There's something sick about that. That's when greed becomes so thick that you think the chickens don't come home to roost. You think you can just keep doing the same thing over and over and over and over again and getting away with it. No. Sooner or later, what's in the water is going to come out in the rinse.
Say that.
You just can't be greedy like that on and on and on. And but they've been able to do it for 35, 40 years. That's the challenge. And right now, Barack tends to lean too much toward the strong. And that's why he and I have deep tension. As much as I love my dear brother.
But you need that. You know, it's nothing wrong with
I love the brother, but I love people more than him.